People always tell you to be sweet, to be gentle, to always smile. They say, never make trouble. But no one tells you the secret cost of always being the nice guy. In the real world, being too nice is like leaving your front door wide open. It tells everyone who's looking to take advantage, come on in, you can take whatever you want. Machiavelli, a very smart man from history who understood how people really act, would have shaken his head at being too nice. He didn't believe in fairy tales. He believed in winning. He believed in staying alive. And he knew that if you're always nice, you don't just lose, you get used and stepped on. He taught that a leader must learn how to not be good all the time. Why? Because the world isn't always fair. Life is tough. People are often selfish, they can be tricky, and they care most about what helps them. If you always expect people to be good, you'll be surprised. If you always give in, you'll be walked all over. If you're always nice, people will use you up. Machiavelli's simple message for the nice person is, wake up. See the world as it is, not as you wish it was. Stop thinking that just being kind will make people respect you. It might make them feel sorry for you. Or worse, they'll just ignore you. Look around. The people who stand firm get power. The confident ones get listened to. The calm but tough ones win. People listen to those who can say no. People forget those who always say yes to everything. This is a hard truth. Being nice is good, but you need to use it wisely. If you're nice all the time, it's not a good quality. It's a weakness. Machiavelli would say, if you want to win, you need to know when to stop smiling and start being tough. The person who is always nice believes a lie, that if they give enough, are kind enough, agree enough, they will finally be loved and rewarded. But the world doesn't keep a score of kindness. It forgets your good deeds. It doesn't care about your sacrifices. It only respects strength. Machiavelli's lessons were never about what's fair. They were about what gives you the upper hand. He would tell the nice person, stop being the easy target. Start being the one in charge. Stop trying to make everyone happy. Start leading the game. Stop running from difficult talks. Start planning your moves. Machiavelli saw people as they really are, sometimes changing, looking out for themselves, and often not very kind. Seeing this clearly is the best way to fix the problem of being too nice. Because the truth is, nice people get used, not because they are bad, but because they don't want to see the world as it is. They want peace. Machiavelli saw battles. They want to make friends. Machiavelli built strong walls. They want to be accepted. Machiavelli wanted control. So here's the hard truth. If you're a nice person and you're hurting, ignored, used, good. That pain is a wake-up call, a chance to change, to grow, to stop being a helper and become a leader in a world that rewards power. You don't need to change who you are deep down, but you need to protect yourself. You don't need to hurt anyone, but you must stop letting others hurt you. Kindness without limits ends up hurting you. Being forgiving without strength just makes you invisible. Machiavelli didn't write for perfect people. He wrote for survivors. And if you want to survive, and not just survive, but win, then you need to stop being the harmless one. You need to become strong, not wild, but smart and in control. Someone who can smile, but also act tough when needed. Someone who can forgive, but only if it helps their bigger plan. Someone who wants peace, but is never afraid to fight. Because in the end, the world won't reward your good heart, it will reward your strength. And being strong in a world that looks for weakness, that is not a bad thing. That is power. Nice people make one big mistake. They need to be liked. They crave approval like food. Every move, every word, every choice is asked, will they still like me if I do this? But in the cold eyes of the world, this desperate need looks bad. Machiavelli would have laughed at it. He'd tell you, stop begging for love, start demanding respect. Respect isn't given to those who try to please, it's given to those who stand strong. The moment you change yourself just to fit what others want, you lose who you truly are. You become like a blank screen, showing their wishes instead of your own. And once you're easy to guess, always saying yes, always agreeing, you become unimportant. You're not seen as a person with goals. You're seen as a tool, something easy to use and throw away. Machiavelli warned against trying to win affection. It makes a leader weak. People respect fear more than love, not because fear is about being mean, but because fear shows control, boundaries, and power. Nice people rarely set clear limits. They go along, they give in, they make sacrifices even when no one asks them to. Why? Because they've been taught that love comes from obeying. But in reality, obeying only gets you one thing: being controlled. If people learn they can push you, they will. If they learn you never say no, they'll take more until there's nothing left. You won't even get thanks. You'll be disliked for being so easy to take from. Machiavelli's world was harsh because it showed real life. He understood this. People want leaders, not helpers. They want clear direction, not someone who just lets things happen. And a person who stands firm, who doesn't back down under pressure, who can say no and truly mean it. They become strong. Not because they're mean, but because they have backbone. The nice person bends too easily. And by bending, they break. They are soft where they need to be tough. Think about the people you respect, the ones who get everyone's attention in a room. Are they the ones who try hardest to be liked? Or are they the ones who walk in with presence, who don't over-explain, who speak with finality? Machiavelli knew power is quiet, focused, and doesn't care about pleasing everyone. It doesn't look for applause. It demands respect through sheer strength. The moment you chase approval, you lose your advantage. And when others see you chasing, they start to move away from you. To stop being stuck as the nice guy, you must stop saying sorry for being you. Stop explaining too much. Stop asking for permission. You don't owe anyone comfort if it means losing your own self-respect. If your truth makes people uncomfortable, let them deal with it. If your limits upset them, let them leave. This is how you gain power, by not needing anyone to say you're okay. The people who truly matter will get used to your truth. The rest were never worth your time. Machiavelli told leaders to be both feared and loved. But if they had to choose, always choose fear. Why? Because fear is reliable. People might not love you today. They might turn against you tomorrow. But fear is steady. It keeps you respected, even when there's disagreement. It builds a wall no one wants to climb. And that wall protects your inner peace, your energy, your vision. So here's the Machiavellian rule for nice people. Never want applause. Want discipline. Want quiet strength. Want the power to stand alone if needed. When you stop needing others to like you, you become free. You start to move like a shadow. Strong, calm, unknown until you act. That's the start of real power. And power, not pity, is the way out of the weakness that being nice brings. You were not born to make everyone comfortable. You were born to live with purpose, strong and steady. Let them say you've changed. Let them whisper you're proud. It means they can feel the shift. The person who needed praise is gone. The person who demands respect is here, and he doesn't ask for it, he takes it. Nice people love to explain. They feel they need to tell why they made every choice, make every word softer, and make every limit clear. Why? Because they're scared of being misunderstood. They believe if they just explain enough, people will approve, understand, and accept them. But Machiavelli would laugh at such simple thinking. He knew the truth. Power doesn't explain. It acts. Authority isn't given by words, it's taken in quiet. Every time you explain yourself, you give people things to use against you. You show them your fears, your doubts, your need to be liked. You open the door to being judged, questioned, and tricked. People don't care why you said no. They only care that you said it with certainty. When you explain, you make your message weaker. You invite arguments. But when you stay quiet, when you give no excuse, no apology, just a firm decision, you become untouchable. They can't argue with quiet. They can't trick what they can't figure out. Machiavelli understood the power of mystery. He told leaders to hide their plans, to be hard to predict, to never show all their cards. Why? Because power grows when things are unclear. People always tell you to be sweet, to be gentle, to always smile. They say, never make trouble. But no one tells you the secret cost of always being the nice guy. In the real world, being too nice is like leaving your front door wide open. It tells everyone who's looking to take advantage, come on in, you can take whatever you want. Machiavelli, a very smart man from history who understood how people really act, would have shaken his head at being too nice. He didn't believe in fairy tales. He believed in winning. He believed in staying alive. And he knew that if you're always nice, you don't just lose, you get used and stepped on. He taught that a leader must learn how to not be good all the time. Why? Because the world isn't always fair. Life is tough. People are often selfish, they can be tricky, and they care most about what helps them. If you always expect people to be good, you'll be surprised. If you always give in, you'll be walked all over. If you're always nice, people will use you up. Machiavelli's simple message for the nice person is, wake up. See the world as it is, not as you wish it was. Stop thinking that just being kind will make people respect you. It might make them feel sorry for you. Or worse, they'll just ignore you. Look around. The people who stand firm get power. The confident ones get listened to. The calm but tough ones win. People listen to those who can say no. People forget those who always say yes to everything. This is a hard truth. Being nice is good, but you need to use it wisely. If you're nice all the time, it's not a good quality. It's a weakness. Machiavelli would say, if you want to win, you need to know when to stop smiling and start being tough. The person who is always nice believes a lie, that if they give enough, are kind enough, agree enough, they will finally be loved and rewarded. But the world doesn't keep a score of kindness. It forgets your good deeds. It doesn't care about your sacrifices. It only respects strength. Machiavelli's lessons were never about what's fair. They were about what gives you the upper hand. He would tell the nice person, stop being the easy target. Start being the one in charge. Stop trying to make everyone happy. Start leading the game. Stop running from difficult talks. Start planning your moves. Machiavelli saw people as they really are, sometimes changing, looking out for themselves, and often not very kind. Seeing this clearly is the best way to fix the problem of being too nice. Because the truth is, nice people get used, not because they are bad, but because they don't want to see the world as it is. They want peace. Machiavelli saw battles. They want to make friends. Machiavelli built strong walls. They want to be accepted. Machiavelli wanted control. So here's the hard truth. If you're a nice person and you're hurting, ignored, used, good. That pain is a wake-up call, a chance to change, to grow, to stop being a helper and become a leader in a world that rewards power. You don't need to change who you are deep down, but you need to protect yourself. You don't need to hurt anyone, but you must stop letting others hurt you. Kindness without limits ends up hurting you. Being forgiving without strength just makes you invisible. Machiavelli didn't write for perfect people. He wrote for survivors. And if you want to survive, and not just survive, but win, then you need to stop being the harmless one. You need to become strong, not wild, but smart and in control. Someone who can smile, but also act tough when needed. Someone who can forgive, but only if it helps their bigger plan. Someone who wants peace, but is never afraid to fight. Because in the end, the world won't reward your good heart, it will reward your strength. And being strong in a world that looks for weakness, that is not a bad thing. That is power. Nice people make one big mistake. They need to be liked. They crave approval like food. Every move, every word, every choice is asked, will they still like me if I do this? But in the cold eyes of the world, this desperate need looks bad. Machiavelli would have laughed at it. He'd tell you, stop begging for love, start demanding respect. Respect isn't given to those who try to please, it's given to those who stand strong. The moment you change yourself just to fit what others want, you lose who you truly are. You become like a blank screen, showing their wishes instead of your own. And once you're easy to guess, always saying yes, always agreeing, you become unimportant. You're not seen as a person with goals. You're seen as a tool, something easy to use and throw away. Machiavelli warned against trying to win affection. It makes a leader weak. People respect fear more than love, not because fear is about being mean, but because fear shows control, boundaries, and power. Nice people rarely set clear limits. They go along, they give in, they make sacrifices even when no one asks them to. Why? Because they've been taught that love comes from obeying. But in reality, obeying only gets you one thing: being controlled. If people learn they can push you, they will. If they learn you never say no, they'll take more until there's nothing left. You won't even get thanks. You'll be disliked for being so easy to take from. Machiavelli's world was harsh because it showed real life. He understood this. People want leaders, not helpers. They want clear direction, not someone who just lets things happen. And a person who stands firm, who doesn't back down under pressure, who can say no and truly mean it. They become strong. Not because they're mean, but because they have backbone. The nice person bends too easily. And by bending, they break. They are soft where they need to be tough. Think about the people you respect, the ones who get everyone's attention in a room. Are they the ones who try hardest to be liked? Or are they the ones who walk in with presence, who don't over-explain, who speak with finality? Machiavelli knew power is quiet, focused, and doesn't care about pleasing everyone. It doesn't look for applause. It demands respect through sheer strength. The moment you chase approval, you lose your advantage. And when others see you chasing, they start to move away from you. To stop being stuck as the nice guy, you must stop saying sorry for being you. Stop explaining too much. Stop asking for permission. You don't owe anyone comfort if it means losing your own self-respect. If your truth makes people uncomfortable, let them deal with it. If your limits upset them, let them leave. This is how you gain power, by not needing anyone to say you're okay. The people who truly matter will get used to your truth. The rest were never worth your time. Machiavelli told leaders to be both feared and loved. But if they had to choose, always choose fear. Why? Because fear is reliable. People might not love you today. They might turn against you tomorrow. But fear is steady. It keeps you respected, even when there's disagreement. It builds a wall no one wants to climb. And that wall protects your inner peace, your energy, your vision. So here's the Machiavellian rule for nice people. Never want applause. Want discipline. Want quiet strength. Want the power to stand alone if needed. When you stop needing others to like you, you become free. You start to move like a shadow. Strong, calm, unknown until you act. That's the start of real power. And power, not pity, is the way out of the weakness that being nice brings. You were not born to make everyone comfortable. You were born to live with purpose, strong and steady. Let them say you've changed. Let them whisper you're proud. It means they can feel the shift. The person who needed praise is gone. The person who demands respect is here, and he doesn't ask for it. He takes it. Nice people love to explain. They feel they need to tell why they made every choice, make every word softer, and make every limit clear. Why? Because they're scared of being misunderstood. They believe if they just explain enough, people will approve, understand, and accept them. But Machiavelli would laugh at such simple thinking. He knew the truth. Power doesn't explain. It acts. Authority isn't given by words. It's taken in quiet. Every time you explain yourself, you give people things to use against you. You show them your fears, your doubts, your need to be liked. You open the door to being judged, questioned, and tricked. People don't care why you said no. They only care that you said it with certainty. When you explain, you make your message weaker. You invite arguments. But when you stay quiet, when you give no excuse, no apology, just a firm decision, you become untouchable. They can't argue with quiet. They can't trick what they can't figure out. Machiavelli understood the power of mystery. He told leaders to hide their plans, to be hard to predict, to never show all their cards. Why? Because power grows when things are unclear.